Hey everyone, welcome to Soul Survivor Online. My name's Luke and I'm going to be running this little seminar. Today we're talking about the electric guitar and we're talking about some little things. We're talking about a bit of technique and then a little bit about tone. And tone is what you get when you mix your hands with your guitar and your gear and your amp to make your sound. That's what tone is. So why don't we crack into it, hey? I'm going to go through a couple different things. First of all, just to talk about tone for a little bit, when I first started, I really struggled because I didn't sound like any of the guitarists from AC/DC or Wolfmother. My dad really likes Wolfmother, so I really want to sound like them, but I just couldn't get it, and I thought it was pedals or guitars or amps that I needed in order to get that sound, but really what I needed was to realize that my hands plus this guitar plus my amp and my pedals makes a different sound to everyone else, and that's just how it goes. So yeah, I want to just start off by saying, if you don't sound like your Hillsong guitarists or your heavy metal guitarist that you hear on the radio or whatever, don't stress. That's a good thing. It is your sound, and really, you should learn to get comfortable with that because everyone sounds different. But what we're going to talk about today is I've got my guitar here, got my pedals here. You can't exactly see it right now, but what we're going to talk today about is some different tips for playing riffs. Now we play a lot of riffs at conferences and different churches and when I play, riffs are a big part of what I play. It's not just chords, although I wish I could just play G shapes all day long. But what we're going to talk today about is a movable G shape that you can use for finding riffs and how to almost riff on it. If your worship leader was to say to you, "Hey, can you just play a little bit here?" You can say, "Well, yeah, I can." So what we're looking at today is we're looking at the G scale and this movable G shape. So let's crack into it. So our G shape, our standard G shape, our open G is this one here. Sounds a little bit like this. Take a little bit of overdrive off. So this is our standard G shape. We've got our pinky on the G, which is the 3rd fret top string, and then 3rd fret second string as well on the, I believe that's a D. And then everything else is open except for this bottom G. Now what we're going to do is we're going to utilize these. So this is our D string, a G string, a B string, and an E string. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this shape. And the shape kind of looks like this. I'm moving my other fingers out of the way. So all I'm doing here is I'm using my finger like a capo across the top 4 strings. So from the D string through to the E string, I'm just laying my pointer finger across the top and applying a bit of pressure. Not so much that I'm going to put my finger through the fretboard, but enough so that the string rests nicely on the fret itself. And then with my pinky finger, I've got my pinky finger across the 1, 2, 3 frets up across the E string and the B string. And so what that's doing is effectively making this same G shape that we have down here. If you think about it like this, effectively that's what it would look like, but of course it's up here. So what we've got is we've got pinky finger. This is actually a C chord. So we've got a pinky finger on the C note on the 8th fret of the E string. And what that does is it guides us to know what chord it actually is that we're playing. So of course, if we're playing down here, our pinky finger is our guide finger. And this is going to be the same for every position that we do this for. Pinky finger is our guide finger. So whatever chord we want to play with this shape, we use the pinky finger as a guide. And what I mean by that is that this pinky finger is playing a G. So, of course, this is a G, this is a G. Now, because that pinky finger is that guide and it's on the G, if we needed to play a C, we'd take our pinky finger and we'd put it on what we know is a C, which is on the top E string, the 8th fret, and we would do this fun shape that I showed you. What that allows us to do is to bring what we know down here, everything we know about the G chord, because it's the first chord I learned how to play, and it's what I got comfortable playing. Now we can move that all the way up here, and we can use what we know and our understanding of that to then play it up here. So if we look at the riff from Hillsongs United, Who Say I Am, so the riff itself sounds like this. So it goes. And so all I'm doing there is I'm going from the top string. So I'm using this shape. I'm going from the top string to the second string, and then I'm just using my middle finger there just to go, on, off, on, and then I'm keeping my pointer finger barring that whole thing, and it means that you can then throw into a chord after, but the good thing about this is that if you've practiced it in the key of C, you practice this riff in the key of C, and you're comfortable with it, and you feel fired up, and the next thing you know, your worship leader says, "Oh, actually, we're gonna play this song in A instead because I forgot to practice, or it sounds better for my voice." And you can do one of two things. You can either just dance around the board trying to figure out where I don't know where the starting note is. I need to find out where the starting note is, and I just can't find it. And you can flail, or you can think to yourself, "Okay, I know where my A note is on my guitar. So I've got my A here, which I got my A. So this is our A, 5th fret, top string." And so if I just employ that shape that we had, so we'll bar 3 frets down, and we'll play it like this. So go pointer finger across the top 2 strings on the 5th fret. We have our A, and what that means is that we can then, if we think to ourselves, okay, well, I've practiced it using this G shape in the C, in the key of C. Now I can just move it down so that now we've still got that technique there. It still is, it's just movable. And so if your worship leader will say, "Actually, we're going to do it in the key of E," you might go, "Okay, but I don't have notes that go below here, to move it back up here." So if we take our pinky finger as our guide, we'll put that on our E note. So we're going key of E, put on our E note. We know that we can play the riff here. Now, what we're doing, the basis behind this shape is the G scale, and I'll play the G scale on the C in the key of C, so that it's easier for you guys to see. But pretty much it's this: so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just got a little bit of delay on there if you're confused, or 8 or 1 if you will. And so effectively, if we're playing in the key of C and we've got this G shape here, what that means is that we can actually kind of mess around, and if you needed to fill in a little bit of space, you can actually stay relatively comfortable just playing any of the notes. I'll just play it again nice and slow. And this allows us as guitarists to quickly, relatively quickly on the fly, just make a really quick decision about what notes we're going to play, so we don't play the wrong ones. I played a lot of wrong notes in my time, and that's okay. Mistakes are good, but as long as they don't keep happening. So yeah, that's my tip for today for your electric guitarist. Use that G shape that you know and are really comfortable with, and it sounds great when you shred. Just move it all the way play up. So if your worship leader will say, oh, okay, we're playing in the key of B, you go, okay, well, my B, I know, is on my 7th fret. I'm just going to whack my shape in there, and I know that I you can play any of the notes in that little shape. Hope that's been helpful for you guys. Looking forward to seeing you soon. I'm so disappointed that we can't actually worship together. I do love worshiping with you guys. I hope this has helped. Thanks, guys. Bye.